Hi, Flosstube. I said I would be back. So here I am. I'm going to do a tag today. Two tags. I think the two most recent I've seen around on Flosstube. So yeah. So here I go. Um, so anyway, let's get going. You'll hear a bunch of clicking because I have the answers on my computer, and I'll be pulling them all up, and so you'll hear clicking with my mouse. So just fair warning. Okay. The first tag is by Adele. I think it's called For Real though tag. So anyway. So, question one. What level of stitcher do you consider yourself to be? Um, well, I don't know. I think I wouldn't consider myself a beginner because I've been stitching too long, but I wouldn't say I'm a really big. I don't know really how to answer that. I'm not a beginner, but I'm not, super experienced. So I would say I'm just kind of middle ground stitcher. So I still have a lot to learn. Okay, so number two, how many whips and UFOs do you honestly have? This includes things that you threw out. Let me think. I looked the other day and I found I have a bunch of little small ones I found that were small little tiny kits. So I think if I was honest, I think I have about 5. Yeah. But actually one of those I wouldn't include being a UFO anymore because I actually pulled it out. Put it away now. That's Nursery Rhymes, Joan Elliott. And I'm trying to stitch that again. So yeah, I would say 4. And they're really, but most of them are really tiny little stitches. So I don't know. Are you easily are you enabled easily? um, yeah, I probably am. I do like seeing all your guys' different patterns that you guys show and what you stitched. So yeah, I think I am. Do you suffer from SADD, Stitcher's Attention Deficit Disorder? Um, I don't think I really do. With the way I stitch, I do like to concentrate on um, one or two things pretty well until it's finished. So I don't really have a hard time concentrating on that or paying attention to it. I think the only time I really have trouble with that is if like the pattern is confusing and then I have a hard time focusing on it. But yeah, I think I'm okay. I don't think I do. Um, Number 5. Have you ever finished a full coverage project? Have a nerf and a tilt and craft, etc.? If your answer is no, how far have you gotten? Well, I've never stitched anything that large for a full coverage, but I have stitched a small full coverage before, and it was part of a little Christmas kit that you got at Walmart one year. I even forget what it was called. And I didn't like it too much, but I did finish it. And it was okay. And to be honest, I'm not really sure if I'm interested ever to do a Heaven and Earth design or a Tilton Crafts. I do have a dimension kits that are full coverage, and I plan on working on those sometime in the future because I really do like the patterns I have, and I think it's worth the time and effort. Okay, number 6. Do you enjoy confetti? a lot of different stitches in different colors? No, I don't. That's probably why I probably stay away from larger full coverage pieces, because I don't like confetti. Even like a couple of other little pieces I find, like there's been several little pieces of Joan Elliott's and Brooklyn Nolan's pieces where there's confetti in it, and they're small, and I don't know, it drives me nuts, and I don't know. I understand the reason for it. It helps with detail, but it's hard for me to stitch. How many finishes do you have this year so far, and how does it compare to your WIP UFO number from question number 2? Let's see. I have 3 finishes this year, so I think that's pretty good, and I have 4 UFOs now. But most of them have been new starts this year, so yeah. Okay. Number 8. Are you bothered by your answer in the last question? Would you rather have smaller or larger number? I'm pretty happy with my answer. I'm happy with what I've done so far, and I'm not really bothered with the UFOs I have, because if they're meant to be a UFO, that's fine. You know, if I want to really finish that piece, I will pull it out if it's meant to be. So, yeah, I'm not really bothered by that. No. Number 9. Do you have any perhaps embarrassing, dirty, little stitchy secrets? Yes, I think I do. I don't really pay attention to if my stitches are going the right way. And I know that bothers a lot of people, but it doesn't bother me. And I know that probably one of the details probably would make me considered a novice stitcher, because I don't pay attention to those kind of things, but it doesn't bother me. I just wanting to get my stitch in, and I don't care what way the stitches are going. So yeah, so I guess that would be my little dirty little secret. Okay, number 10. I dare you to show me your messy back. That's not a problem with me. I don't care if my backs are messy. So here we go. It's very messy, but I don't care. So anyway, that is the end of that tag. And now I'm going to do the next tag, which is by Kate, the Queen of Starts. Anyway, hi. Okay. Anyway, some of these questions are a little bit, I think it might rally a few people up, and I'm going to answer them the best I can. I'm going to try not to be rude. And, well, that's not my intention. I'm not being rude. I'm not going to, yeah. So anyway, just want to put that out there. So anyway, first question. What irritates you most about cross stitch in general, and why? Probably the time it takes. I'm a very visual person, and I love all the different patterns I find in cross stitch. And so I want to stitch them all. But it takes so much time and a lot of effort, and I think that's probably what bothers me the most about cross stitching. I'm sorry, I heard a noise. I wasn't sure what it was. Okay, what designer irritates you most, and why? Well, I think it's just pretty much a preference of mine. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't really care too much for large full coverage pieces with a lot of confetti. And heaven and earth, has a lot in that. So I have 2 Heaven and Earth patterns, and there are 2 more that I would like to get. But I'm kind of reconsidering that because I noticed that it probably would drive me nuts when I'm stitching it. And so I think that would bother me most, because I look at what Heaven and Earth I have now, and I look at the patterns, and I really cannot tell where everything is. It's so heavy and confetti, and I cannot see a picture. When you look at a pattern when cross stitching, what I like is I can see the detail. I can see where everything is in the pattern and what is to be stitched. And when I look at Heaven and Earth design, it's so confetti heavy that I can't tell where the picture is. That bothers me. But that's just my personal preference, and probably why I will stay away from Heaven and Earth designs. Okay, what stitch irritates you and why? French knots. I've learned how to make a French knot after so long, but I still have a hard time making it. And why it bothers me is because sometimes I get a little loop up when I'm making the knot. And I don't know, it's just one of those stitches that I don't like very much. Okay, what irritates you about non-stitchers? They don't realize that the time and effort it takes to finish a cross-stitch piece, and probably their disregard of why I like to cross-stitch. They really don't see the point of why I like stitching, and they think it's a waste of time. What irritates you about other stitchers? I haven't really had any negative comments from any other stitchers, so I don't know. I had one comment when I was really young, and it was from an older lady, and she had a trouble with my back of my cross stitch pieces. She didn't like the way my back looked, which is fine. That was her opinion. It didn't bother me, so yeah. I know that it does bother some other stitchers, though, but yeah, that's okay. That's their preference, Anyway, that is the end of the tag. So, thanks, Kate and Adele, for those tags. And, oh my goodness, I just looked at myself. I'm all blushy. I didn't realize it would make me that nervous to answer this, but I don't know why. It was a fun tag. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye.